Pretty much all of them. Trent trained yesterday, completely normal. It was not a knock. Trent was a bit ill, but that looked yesterday pretty good. And so with Virgil, we have to wait. He didn't train so far. He didn't train with the team so far. So, but can't say anything more about that. So, what was the other one? Ginny. Yes, Ginny trained as well. So all good.
How does that first defeat of the season affect the mood of the squad, if at all?
Like a defeat is, it's not cool. It's not what you want. It's not what we are going for. So that's how it is. But it's not that we should not be surprised that things like this can happen, especially when in a game when you're against a really strong side, when you don't use your big chances and how we said a few times, you leave the game open, and then if you leave the game open, there's always a chance for the other team, and so that's what happened, not more. But I don't think affecting the mood after a defeat. Yeah, of course, immediately after the game, the mood is not good. But then you have 2 days in this case to find back on track. And that's, I would say, worked so far. We will go to Chelsea and try our best again. But in games like this, you never can be sure that you will get the result you want to have. You have to work for it, and that's what we try.
Graham Souness has again been very complimentary about your team. Says that this Liverpool team will give any team from any era a real game. You've already come through a big test against Spurs and the top 4 rival this season. What kind of a statement would it be if you were to open up a 5-point gap on another title rival, top 4 rival in Chelsea this weekend?
I don't think in this category, to be honest, because it's difficult enough to try to win the game or even to get a point at Chelsea, and I don't think about a 5-point gap. And a 5-point gap, 31 match days before the end is nothing, because you play them again, so it's absolutely nothing. It's only about getting points on our account, and that's all what we try to do. And if Graham says that, yeah, he's right, would give all teams a proper game, and that's the best news, to be honest. That's exactly how we see it as well. But give somebody a proper game doesn't mean you will win that game. It only means you are competitive, and that's what we are. That's what we have to show again. And I thought the Chelsea game was just an unbelievably interesting game, to be honest, in the analysis as well. So we needed time to adapt. Yes, we had a new formation. Yes, and that's without the ball. Against the ball, if I mean defending, it's a bit more complicated than with the ball. And so it felt maybe a bit like Chelsea had, and for us as well, it was not uncomfortable. And we think, okay, they pass there, and we were not ready. It was because of little details, but they are absolutely important. And for the boys, it was a big challenge because I know how people see it, and always, and you let them play after a long time. We have 5 players. Okay, Fabinho played a few minutes, but we have 4.5 players with the first minutes of the first start in the season, and then we all think they need to be ready in that moment, use the chance, or you will never get another one. But that's not how it is. So it was a really difficult task, and I was happy how we adapted in the game, to be honest. So with all the things they did, at the end they needed a free kick, and maybe offside, maybe not important, and a world-class situation of Hazard. And to win the game, so we had the bigger chances and all that stuff. So that's good news, but still we lost it, and that what can happen. It's not a problem. But how I say, it's always about the result is the most important thing, but the performance is pretty important as well, and for analyze much more important. And so we learned a lot in that game, and it was just interesting to see how we adapted in a pretty short period of time, and with a pretty much completely new formation, and that's good, but we have to do better because, Chelsea will make changes, of course, and Hazard will not only play 20 minutes, so will give us a few questions probably over 95, and a lot of other players will come in, Jorginho and Kante and all these boys. So it will be interesting again, and I'm looking forward to it.
You've got a few to come by yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Just as far as Virgil is concerned, obviously with it being such a Colossus in your defence as well. What sort of an impact might that have? Or has that had, like, even on training maybe?
Virgil is a world-class player. There's no doubt about that. And if you miss a world-class player, it's not cool. But Dejan Lovren made his first game after the World Cup, I would say around about 10 weeks. Most of the time he was that injured that he couldn't even think about training, because you have in that part of your body something that's not, you cannot do fitness, nothing. So, and after that long period he played an outstanding game. Joel Matip, long have been injured, now 2 games in a row, played fantastic, and both fullbacks didn't play in that season so far. So that's, we all get judged constantly, but it's for the boys it's much more important what I think about their performance than what you think about their performance. And I can imagine that people say, oh, thank God all the others come back again and stuff like that. But these boys did a really good job. So if Virgil is fit and can play, then he will play. So why should I make? But if not, then obviously we have options, and that's really good. That's really good. And for that, yes, his impact is always obvious, but we could play football and before Virgil van Dijk, and we can play without Virgil, thank God. But I prefer as well that he is fit and available, and I can make decisions if he needs a rest or not in one or the other game. But now for the last game he was not available, and now we'll see what will be tomorrow.
And I know you've touched upon it, but with that in mind maybe as well, what have you learned about your depth in your squad following this week as well?
Depth in, by the way, we spoke a lot about our depth in the squad, I think, and then you watch it, and nobody spoke about Chelsea, and they made 8 changes as well, and I think Zappacosta was not involved, and a few others. So they have obviously, you need that. You need that. You cannot go in a season with 12, 13, 14 top-class players. You need 20 of them. That's how it is. And but then still, it's better to make 2 changes than 6 or 7. When we talk about rhythm and playing together and all that stuff, working together, that's of course. But I'm completely happy with the depth of the squad when all are fit. That's how it is, because it doesn't happen a lot that you have all available. But when they're all available, then the depth in the squad is really good, and I'm happy.
Thank you. Juliet?
No disappointment of midweek being out of the cup competition so far, but an advantage of that up until January now, you can just focus on the 2 competitions, the Premier League and the Champions League, which some may suggest would have been a better priority than also being in the League Cup as well.
If you see like this, then you play better. You don't play Champions League, and you go out in the first round in the Carabao Cup, and then you have enough time to focus on the league. Yeah, that's not. We do the job to play all the games somebody gives us. If you want all competitions we are in, we want to win, and it's the job. I said before the game, the stadium will be full. So means we have to be at 100%. That's what we try to do. In the moment, I don't see a lot of positive things, to be honest, when I think about losing a cup game. But I know that if you go the next 2 rounds, I'm not sure, would not be the biggest problem match-wise. In January, yeah, if you go in the semis, I think then around about then it's getting a bit more busy, and that's not cool. But if you're that far, then you want to go for it, of course. So, but that's clear before you start a competition. And I think before or when I came in, people expect more or less that in these kind of games you line up all the kids. If one of us would have done that in the last game. And I didn't speak to Sarri before the game and ask who you will line up, and I line up them, then we have a proper game. So, but if we would have brought the kids, or I would have done that, that would have been a funny game. So that was a real cup game, and both teams showed how important this cup is for them, and I like that. So we lost. That's not cool, but that's all.
So with the changes that I guess you're going to make in the Chelsea game, are you expecting a similar kind of game than you had in
Yeah.
the same one as midweek.
At least. Yeah. It will be tough. It will be intense for both sides. It's a big one. It's Chelsea versus Liverpool. So that sounds already good. And then now we have to make sure that it is good. And for both teams, it will not be an easy game. Both teams know that. But how I said, the best preparation for us for the Saturday game is the Wednesday game, because you can never know more about an opponent than in a match you play against them. And of course, a few different players on the pitch, for sure, for Chelsea. And but we try to use our information from Wednesday to do it better.
Jurgen, I'm sure it'll be a different starting lineup tomorrow, but given the fact that you've had a couple of days to reflect and work with the squad, can you sense an added determination in the players to make sure that at Stamford Bridge it's a different result? An added motivation, maybe?
Yeah, for sure, but it's not that I go, to be 100% honest, that I come in on Thursday morning and then speak immediately in which way we strike back and things like this. Are obvious, we want to strike back. That's sports. You lose once, can happen. If you play them again, you try to correct that case, and that's what we try, of course. But it's now today is the only session we really have, and then we travel to. Because so far it was, of course, for the team who played was completely only yesterday was recovery. The good was with the other boys we had a proper session, a good session, and now today is a very important one to use the things we've learned in a training session about the opponent, and then let's go and try again, and hopefully they all are fit, and then we have done really proper quality, and that makes it so interesting. Yes, but striking back is a duty in sports. That's why what's a big part of what I love. You always in a season you play always twice, so it's quite difficult to play in June, or let me say in August, and then next time in May, and you just tell your players, we lost against them. That's quite difficult. But in 3 days, it's possible, and so let's try.
Xherdan Shaqiri's played started the last 2 matches. How would you assess his progress since he's come in and sort of getting to play the Liverpool way and the way that you want and what you want from him?
Oh, very good, very, very good. It's when he came in, that's what I wanted from him, that he really plays only free, completely. Don't think about anything, play football. I don't want to bother him and fill him up with informations about the way we play, the way he has to defend, the way he has to run. I wanted to see how he adapts, and that was brilliant in the preseason. You saw that. But of course, for the long term, you need to get used to all these different things more and more, and he makes big steps in that. But of course, that's again like it always was. When you use these informations, then you lose a little bit from the natural skills for a few days, weeks, whatever, because you think now a little bit more on the pitch, as you should actually, because it's football, how I said a few times, should be more instinct than really thinking too much. So you have to do it that often that you don't have to think about it anymore. And that's where he is in the moment. But I'm completely happy. It's a fantastic impact and a really good player and good boy. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know if German newspapers. I had an argument with Shaqiri on the pitch. I hadn't. Only to make it clear, I hadn't. He was only the first one who was involved. I met, and that was the second after the free kick we had, and I wanted to do it differently. But he was not. He was not even involved in the free kick. So, but it was only about that.
You mentioned that was a good preparation playing them earlier this week. How important was it to get an early sight of Xherdan Shaqiri, and how high did you rate him?
To get an early what?
Like an early sight of what Xherdan Shaqiri can do. Obviously, you know what he can do, but obviously he did it specifically in midweek. How important was it to see what he can do?
A couple of years ago, I think we played Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea when Diego Costa and I mean they played obviously in a different system. The two strikers were then Costa and Eden Hazard, kind of very offensive players, and I know exactly how good he is. That night it felt like, wow, okay, we can defend all of them, but not him. Yeah, Eden Hazard is a special player, obviously, and he enjoys these 1-1 situations or 1 versus 2 or 3 situations. He enjoys that, so that's good. That's not. I didn't need that game to know about Eden, so that was already clear before.
And obviously it's the start of like a particularly critical week. Do you think like it'll have a critical impact on the end of the season?
Since the last international break, we knew that we face all these teams, and the boys did so far. We played Tottenham, PSG, Southampton, Chelsea. So we are halfway through, and so far we did really well. So we did really well, performance-wise, very well, result-wise, very well. Last one is now, that's how it is always. Obviously feels like it's the biggest impact, but I don't think so. And before we started that, it was clear that a game against Chelsea at Chelsea will not be children's birthday or whatever. That's pretty intense. And then you go to Naples, which is a tough place to go, and then Man City is coming. But we all know how these games were. Maybe we won them last year, but it was always nearly over the top what we had to do. So that's how it is. That's an interesting month, to be honest. So, but so far so good, and boys are fully in it and are ready to go, and then we have to see what we will. But the impact for the season, all games have impact for the season as much. It's all that we don't know that in the moment, but we are quite positive. Let me say it like this: we are quite positive that we can get a bit of all these games.
Can we go on the second match that with David?
Yeah, you spoke about learning lessons from Wednesday's game, and also about knowing how good Eden Hazard is. Is one of the things that you talk to your players about is ways that you would go differently about maybe reducing his impact, and is that really stopping passes to him, or more sort of having a player almost really tight to him at all times?
Yes, pretty much all of that. But it is stopping passes to Hazard, yeah, good idea. Being close, most of the time, good idea. But he likes that somebody's close. To be honest, come on, we all know that we could have defended that goal that he scored. That's clear. We had 3 challenges. Yes, he did well, but he did that well because we won. It was a bit. We say in German, "Take you, I have him." So, and nobody had him really. So it's like I'm there, but another one is there as well, and then both didn't do it the 100%. If we have one 100% challenge of 4 or 5, I think, Eden Hazard can't do what he did. So that's how it is. But that's not new. No, but he used the situation that always it was a little. Both players were a bit in doubt. Am I or are you? Well, yeah, we never want to do that. Never. It's always clear we need 1 for the challenge and 1 for the protection. And we had 2 for the protection, 3 times. So, and then I would say still not possible to score a goal really, but because of a perfect finish. So I can easily respect that. But no player is not defendable. That's all how it is, of course. But it's difficult. We are difficult to defend. If you give Sadio Mane the ball in the wrong space, then you cannot get him anymore as an opponent. It's not possible. So in all these things, we have these players as well. So it's good. But yes, we have to make sure that we close the right spaces. And if we have a challenge, we should try to win it a bit more than we did in that situation.
It's obviously a lot of talk about Hazard, but how important is Jorginho in what Chelsea do on the side?
Very. That's good, eh? Another, how do we defend Jorginho? Huh? So, and then we have these 2, and then Willian is there, of course, and Morata or Giroud. And then Kovacic is running with the ball like a Formula 1 car, and Kante, don't forget him. Oh, come on. That you cannot, that's, yeah. They are pretty important, all of them. That's how football is. That's why I love that game so much, because they're all important. Isn't that nice? So, and they, in the best way, they are all important. Our boys are all important. So let's be important. Let's try to be very decisive. Let's try to be at 100%. And let's play football. Because when we played football, we caused them a lot of problems as well. We should not forget that we had the bigger chances in that game. I don't like talking about chances when you don't use them, but they were there. So they were obviously big, our chances. Sadio was big. I forgot after the game the two biggest chances, to be honest. When I spoke about the game, I forgot Sadio and Daniel. How can you forget these chances? And that's, if we score there, then we talk about exactly the same strength of the Chelsea team, but we would have won the last game. So let's try everything, to win that game.
No, anything from you? No, Richard, anything? No, and Neil to finish. Oh, thank you.
Welcome.